Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Lauren. I'm a mom who lost 80 pounds using the WW plan, and I am back with a postpartum weight loss journey. After having my second child, I rebooted and recommitted to WW Weight Watchers on January 1st of 2024, and today I am sharing my 1 month update on my health journey. I am doing things a little differently this time around. I'm a busy mom with 2 young ones. I have an almost 6-year-old and a 21-month-old, but I've been feeling more and more like myself since being postpartum, and I felt ready to jump back into my health game, get back on track, not only to lose the baby weight and then some to continue on my weight loss journey, but also to feel like I have healthy habits developed and I'm teaching my daughters good healthy habits and we're being active as a family. So this time I am not only following the WW Weight Watchers plan, but I'm also looking at a 5 pillars of health approach to my weight loss journey. That means not only am I tracking my food intake, but I am tracking my nutrition, my movement, my mindset, my sleep, as well as my stress management. So when I started out on this journey, one of the frequent comments I had is, that's a lot to track all of those pillars and all of those things every single day, and it was. Especially starting out and finding new routines. It's always hard getting yourself into a new routine, but I really feel now that I've been doing things for a month, everything has kind of settled in and it doesn't feel as much like I have all of these tasks that I have to accomplish every day. It's just a part of what I'm doing. So pre-planning my meals for the day and staying on top of my nutrition with WW, finding time to hop on my Rebounder, taking a walk with my dog and my baby. These have all just kind of naturally fallen into place for my day-to-day routine. But I kind of came to realize that doing all of these things was helping to energize me more for the rest of my day. Getting outside for at least 30 minutes in the morning was putting me in a positive, happy, and energized mindset, which ended up making me more accomplished in the afternoon, getting like my little stuff around the house done while Nora was napping. And then I could actually sit down at the end of the night when we got the kids to bed. My husband and I could sit, enjoy time together, and relax. And that ended up meaning that I felt like I had more time to relax in the evening and I wasn't staying up as late trying to find those extra minutes for me time because my day felt complete and I felt ready to go to sleep. So all of these 5 pillars that I'm following have kind of started stacking on top of each other, and because I'm accomplishing one or another, it means that the next one easily falls into place and so on. Nutrition and movement are definitely the ones I prioritize daily, following my WW plan, sticking with my points because we all know food is one of the most important factors when it comes to weight loss. And then also movement, getting my body moving. I notice how much easier it is for me to lose weight when I'm being active, along with eating well. Other pillars are a day-to-day, I'm working on it. I obviously, with 2 little kids at home, I usually get my 8 hours of sleep in, but it can be a toss-up with a 1.5-year-old. We have days where she didn't nap great or she ends up waking up really early and then it kind of throws me off my timeline, but my husband and I kind of tag team it and we try to manage the best we can with both of us getting good sleep. Getting outside daily has really helped with my mindset pillar as well as my stress management. I feel like just getting outside and walking, I can almost cross off 3 pillars with 1 activity. Getting outside for 30 minutes to an hour daily, walking, getting some sunshine, some fresh air, movement, mindset, stress management, I feel like is all accomplished with that. So I'm really happy that we're moving into nicer weather. It's easier for us to get outside every single day. And then on top of that, I'm also trying to do some things for mindset and stress management in the evenings, whether it's taking a bath or reading or doing like an arts and craft. I started doing a paint by numbers kit. So I don't hit everything every single day. I'm definitely far from perfect on it, but it's a goal and I am working on trying to get through those things in my day because I notice how much better I feel when I accomplish them. So diving a little bit further into movement, I have been doing a 30-day Rebounder challenge this first month back on my health journey. I wanted to find something that wasn't just going to count for movement and weight loss every day, but to find something that I was excited about, that was new to me, something new to learn, and something that I found to be fun because I thought it would help inspire me to keep at it. And using my Rebounder has definitely done that. I'm gonna do a whole separate video though on it about 30-day rebounder challenge, the ups, the downs, taking you guys through it day to day. Along with that's where I'll share like my differences in measurements and things. That's something I normally will share here in my monthly update video, but because I have that challenge that I did, I'm gonna share like side-by-side comparison photos and measurement details in that video. But today I will share my weigh-in update too. But I've enjoyed it so much, I'm gonna continue my challenge and extend it out to 60 days, and maybe I'll have another update after that. I have gotten to a point where I'm easily doing 15 minutes a day on it. I started out with literally doing like 5 to 10 minutes and taking breaks. But I've worked my way up to doing a solid 15 minutes on the rebounder. Sometimes I go upwards of 20 if I'm watching a show or a video or following a workout routine on YouTube. That's a little bit longer. Diving a little deeper into nutrition, I've been sticking with Weight Watchers, the WW plan. I did hit a 30-day streak of tracking where I tracked everything every single day. And it's one of those where it's like, hey, even if we all have slip-ups or things that we make choices about that maybe indulge a little bit more here or there, but I find one of the best things to learn is just no matter what it is, track it. You're gonna go over your daily points, track it. You're gonna bust your weekly points, track it, because then you can watch and learn and adjust your other days around it. I've had weeks where I went over not only my dailies for a day, but I used up all plus a couple weeklies. But I realized if I then changed my daily points goal, I went ahead and tried to make my own personal goal to be 4 points under my daily point for the rest of the week, because you get 4 rollover points if you don't use them. So then even though I had gone over, I think like 6 points of my weeklies, and that was like in the middle of my week, after only 2 days of adjusting my daily points down a little bit, I was back in the positive for my weeklies because I had rollovers. So it's not game over. Don't quit. Don't say I'll start again next week. Just keep going. That's like the biggest thing, getting back on track and getting back in the routine of tracking, is just track everything. When you're at this point in your health journey, it helps you learn and understand so much better about how your body and your relationship with food is going. And one of my favorite things about using the WW plan and following it is I feel like I can use it as a tool on my health journey. I'm not just focused on that as a diet. For me, it's so much more of a realistic approach, because there are going to be days in life when you're busy and you can't follow a super strict plan all the time. You know, we end up going out to eat. We have special occasions. Something happens and our dinner meal plan has to change. But I've learned how to pivot and balance my day without totally blowing it. I have been meal planning and prepping more. I definitely am doing really great at meal planning weekly. I'm sharing those videos here where I share my grocery haul, and then I walk you guys through my full week of dinner plans, as well as what I do is I like to figure out a couple options that I want to do for that week for breakfast, lunches, and snacks. I have the points written out ahead of time, so it's kind of like a puzzle, and you pick and choose pieces to put together to create my perfect day. The hardest meal for me every day is definitely lunch. I feel like I've done good at like freezer prepping breakfasts so far. And then because I'm coming up with that weekly meal plan for dinners, those are kind of preset, and you know, I always have to cook dinner for my family, so I always have an option laid out there. But lunches, it tends to be that time. I usually eat lunch when Nora's napping and Lila's at school during the week. So if I let myself get busy or caught up in something, I easily just won't eat. So one thing that has helped me just skipping eating lunch when I'm busy is I have been doing soup Sundays. So every Sunday I try and make a larger, like one pot or crock pot type dish, whether it's a soup, a chili, a stew, something that's, you know, all in one pot. It's pretty easy to make, and it offers multiple servings. So if we even eat it for dinner that night, I still have extra servings that I can use for my lunch prep for the week. So that has been super helpful, is having those on hand. So this month we've done tortilla chicken soup. We did turkey chili. I did a sausage and potato soup that was really good. But our absolute favorite recipe we made this month was a twist on Hungarian mushroom soup. This soup was absolutely phenomenal. I will link the original recipe for Hungarian mushroom soup that I started with in the description box. And as I share how I made the recipe, I'll tell you what twists I did to make it right for me. I started by dicing 1 yellow sweet onion and slicing 2 pounds of rinsed and dried baby portobello mushrooms into 1/8 inch pieces. Then in my Dutch oven, I greased it with a little bit of spray avocado oil, tossed in the onion and the mushroom, and let those stew down until the onions were translucent and the mushrooms were soft. These both release a lot of liquid, so we're going to let some of that steam off. Then for my first twist of the recipe, I'm adding in about 1.5 cups of shredded cooked chicken breast. You can use rotisserie chicken for this. I just made mine in the crock pot because I needed some for another recipe later this week. I then added in 2 cups of chicken broth. And for seasonings, we're going in with some dried dill weed, dried thyme, and paprika. Also a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and salt. And as that keeps cooking down to reduce a little bit, I'm making a slurry out of whole milk and flour. Mixing and whisking this well until fully incorporated and a little frothy. Then it goes into my pot. This is gonna add creaminess to the soup as well as help thicken everything up. It finishes off with the juice of a whole lemon. And I swapped out sour cream for plain nonfat Greek yogurt. And for extra razzle dazzle, I actually have 1 more pound of baby portobello mushrooms that I sliced up, gave them a spray with some avocado oil and a little bit of salt, and popping them in the air fryer to get nice and crisp. I cooked mine at 400 for about 8 minutes. This soup makes about 6 hearty portions. Topping it with those extra mushrooms adds some great texture and comes in at only 5 points on the WW plan. You guys, that soup was so delicious. I did also make some like homemade baguette with it to dip in it, which you can do because it's a lower point meal. You can do the things like adding in some bread on the side. It helps to make it filling for you so you're not reaching for something else. That's also another thing I have found this last month is by eating meals that feel a little bit more indulgent more often, it's stopping me from overindulging like later in the night. So by having, you know, a really yummy soup with bread on the side, I'm feeling full and like I'm not wanting to go back for a bunch of extra snacks and desserts after dinner. Or by having a really nice steak with veggies on the side. Steak can be a little bit higher in point. It definitely has a little bit more fat content to it. However, it's also super satisfying. And when you pair it with low point, 0 point vegetables, the dish isn't that high in points and I'm feeling full and like I'm not having all these extra cravings later. So I think this is something I want to do in all of my monthly updates is share with you guys our favorite recipes of the month. So for lunches, it's definitely been the Hungarian mushroom soup with chicken because, you know, I can't leave a recipe alone. But throwing in the extra protein I feel like also helps fill you up. I would say my favorite breakfast that I did this month has been our breakfast burritos. Those, I love a good breakfast burrito, something easy, handheld. I toss it in the air fryer, not a lot of prep. But also you can mix out the fillings so easily and try a bunch of different ones. This last time that I did the meal prep, I did chicken sausage with spinach and eggs and roasted like bell peppers and onions and stuff. It was so good. And then dinner, I would say my favorite dinner I did was so simple, but it was just like a nice cooked ribeye steak. I measured out the ounces so I had an appropriate portion. Josh and I, we actually sliced up one and shared it. And then I made a wedge salad on the side. Pretty simple, but it was just super satisfying and it was just like a meal that stuck out to me that like we sat down and it was just so good. But I had that and it fit into my normal daily points because I made sure to eat a little bit lower point in the morning and in the afternoon. And because I knew that's where I was gonna spend my points was on that dinner because it was like our at-home date night that I made it for. Top snack I would say this month was definitely the smoked salmon cucumber bites. I actually shared those in one of the videos. I'll tag it in the iCard. But I was just really craving like sushi. And even though sushi itself isn't that high in point, I feel like I can pack away a ton of sushi. Like it is so easy for me to eat a bunch of it at one time if I'm gonna eat it. So these smoked salmon cucumber bites were like the perfect way to kind of curb that craving. I felt like I was having something that was very sushi-like. I got a lot of those same flavors and textures I was wanting in a great DIY at-home low point snack. So, knowing all of that and hearing all of, the details about how my month went, where did I end up on the scale this month? First thing this morning, I weighed in, and 1 month into my journey back on the WW plan, I'm down to 314.7 pounds from my starting weight of 320.6 pounds. So I am just at 6 pounds down after 1 month on the WW plan. I'm feeling really inspired and excited to keep going on this journey. And kind of an odd one to say is I feel more in control of my body, but I think a lot of that is just due to my new working on my core muscles. This has probably been the first time I've consistently worked on my core muscles, and as I've been hunching over here talking to the camera, my posture, since having our second baby, and it just feels like things for the first time are like coming back together. I feel stronger and like I have more energy day to day. And in turn, I'm feeling more present and like I'm actually playing with my kids. I'm not kind of sitting to the side while they play. Like, no, I have the energy. I want to get down there and play with them and help them learn and grow. And even though I was doing that before, I also kind of felt like I was still like living life in that postpartum haze where you're just doing whatever you need to day and just not even having the energy to put into the extra stuff like planning arts and crafts and activities and outings. So anyway, that is the 1 month update, where we are 1 month back on Weight Watchers and into my new health journey for 2024. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. I have plenty more grocery haul, meal plans, daily vlogs, what I eat in a day type videos coming. So don't forget to subscribe so you can keep following along with the journey with me. And until next time, bye.